This is my retire on 825 a month in Bali, Indonesia information. We're presently touring Southeast Asia, investigating the best places to retire cheap in paradise. Bali is definitely and presently my favorite place in the world to retire cheap in paradise. Let me explain how I know this. I've been traveling the world since 2007, 67 countries so far. I return to the USA for a week or two every other year or so, but the rest of the time I slowly travel the world. Okay, let's talk about costs there. Groceries. One of the biggest mistakes you can make living internationally is if you are trying to live on a tight budget is to buy imported groceries from your home country or other parts of the world when you're overseas. What costs you $1 at home could easily cost you $3 overseas. Remember, it's fancy foreign food once it's shipped internationally. That is the mistake you could easily make here in Bali, Indonesia. This could easily double your food budget if you're not careful. Watch our top 10 mistakes international retirees make to learn the other 9 big mistakes you could make as an international retiree. Instead, follow the locals around. Not only do they spend much less on locally grown foods, but the foods they eat is often more recently picked, so it's fresher. You will quickly learn why locals shop in open-air markets without shopping carts or air conditioning. Just shop in the morning market when the air is still cool. I'll provide links to everything I talk about at the end of this video. By shopping like locals, we estimate around $230 US per month for fresh daily foods. We do our best to stay away from air-conditioned grocery stores selling imported and other processed foods. Okay, rents. Rent is another place where foreigners' budgets get stretched. Do you know the old saying, when in Rome, do as the Romans do? That turns out to be one of the most important principles if you're retiring overseas and you want to live the most interesting life learning about your new culture. You see, if you come to Bali and look for a place on Airbnb.com for a month, you could easily pay $800 to $1,000 a month. There's nothing wrong with that if you have the money and like the convenience, but that's not what the locals do when they look to rent a place for a year or two. I understand that you'll need somewhere to go when you first land in a country. I do too. So I book a place on Airbnb or 𝗏𝗏𝗄 for about 5 days. That gives us a place to go when we arrive, and it puts our feet on the ground in our target neighborhood. But after that, we do as the Romans do. We spend the next 2 or 3 days doing what locals do to find cheaper apartments. It isn't always easy, but we can usually cut the online rents in half with our apartment rental process. So we put our feet on the ground in my favorite part of Bali called 𝗂𝗏𝗄 Central. Then we walk my favorite walkable areas of Central 𝗂𝗏𝗄. We found a few places that were almost what we wanted, but we kept looking. On the second day, we found something we totally loved for 5 million rupiah per month, which is $324 per month, including utilities. That is less than $11 per night, including utilities and internet. It is a 1-bedroom villa with a living area, a kitchen, and a private bathroom, and a master bedroom. The funny thing is, the villa was hidden away about 50 meters off my favorite walkable street in 𝗂𝗏𝗄. I will give you a live video tour of our apartment in just a moment. You won't believe your eyes. But first, let me show you the amazing local restaurant food we were able to find for about $2 per meal. And there wasn't just one restaurant. Restaurants. So how do you save money in restaurants? I'm just like you. I like to eat pizza or pasta once a week or so. But if you only eat Western food restaurants when you're living overseas, you could easily double or even triple your budget for restaurants. Instead, I go on local restaurant adventures once or twice per week for the first month or so to identify what the locals eat. By following locals, you'll quickly identify a variety of foods that locals eat that you'll also enjoy. Finding favorites in local restaurants helps me stay on budget in 2 specific ways. First, when I go out to eat, I'm paying local restaurant prices. Second, When I shop in open-air markets and other local markets, I learn what local ingredients to buy so I can try preparing local dishes at home. I often can find how to make the local dishes I love on YouTube. Then, when I'm shopping, I can look for the local ingredients I need instead of always going back to the foreign imported ingredients. So, understanding the local diet helps me save money when I go out to eat, plus it teaches me how to save money on local ingredients when I prepare food at home. If you're wondering why other foreigner retirees report spending 2 and 3 times as much as me in grocery stores and restaurants, it's probably because they're eating in foreign restaurants and buying imported ingredients to cook at home. That may in fact be Rome, but they're not doing as the Romans do. So if we primarily ate local dishes in local restaurants, once for date night per week and once for lunch per week somewhere, along with the occasional street food, we would average around $30 per week in restaurants or $120 per month for the two of us. Okay, let's look at transportation. If we lived in central 𝗂𝐵𝐿 in Bali, as discussed above, everything would be walkable for us. So we would get our exercise just going about our daily routine every day. We could also buy an old scooter or old bicycles if we wanted to get somewhere quicker. We may also use 𝗙𝗵𝗲𝗃𝗄𝐿 or 𝗂𝐿𝐴𝐺𝐺 taxi if needed, so we estimate that our transportation costs would average about $40 per month. Okay, utilities and internet. Our apartment included utilities at $324 per month. So for estimation purposes, I'll just estimate utilities at $50 per month and internet for $50 per month. So I'll drop the rent to $275 since we would be paying internet and utilities if we rented long term. Okay, cell data. We paid $20 US for our SIM card, which included 1 month of data. Laundry. It costs us about $5 per week to send our laundry out for washing, drying, and folding. So we estimate about $20 per month for laundry, drop off, and pick up. Water. We had 12 20-liter bottle jugs delivered to our house in a month. Those are the same as the 5-gallon jugs you see like in the US. They were 25,000 rupiah per jug, or 300,000 rupiah for the month, which is about $20 US. Okay, now alcohol, which is optional. Local bintang beers are about 24,000 rupiah, which is $1.60 per beer. For regular sized beer in stores, a large bintang, which is the local beer again, is equal to about 2 regular sized beers, and it costs 41,000 rupiah, which breaks down to $1.36 US per beer. You could easily pay twice as much in bars and restaurants, so we would drink mostly at home. We estimate about $130 per month in alcohol for the two of us. We estimate that we would spend about $200 per month for entertainment, which includes trips down to the beach for the day, tours, hiking, and that sort of thing. After I summarize our estimated living costs for 𝗂𝐵𝐿, Bali Indonesia, I'll take you on a live tour of our mind-blowing apartment we found for $324. Okay, here's the summary. 𝗂𝐵𝐿 Bali rent, $275. Remember, that's with the utilities, not including utilities and internet. Groceries, $230. These are in US dollars. Utilities, $50. Restaurants, $120. Cell data, $20. Laundry, $20. Water, $20. And internet, $50. Transportation, $40. All of those recurring costs total $825. If you add $130 in optional alcohol, you're at $955. If you add $200 in optional entertainment, you're at $1,155 per month. Not all of your potential expenses are listed in the above table. Visit Numbeo for 𝗂𝐵𝐿 Bali and add anything you spend money on in your home country that's not mentioned in the above table. This is our estimated cost of living if the two of us moved here on a tight budget. To fully understand what it would cost you to live here, you must do an exploratory visit and put your feet on the ground. Our costs of living are generally much lower than a new traveler's because we're great bargain hunters, but there are a few people that are able to live cheaper than we do. Never move anywhere until you've visited first personally to verify the living costs for your lifestyle and needs. I'm not guaranteeing these prices. These are just my notes and estimates from the time of my visit and this post. Your costs will likely be drastically different depending on your lifestyle and the time since this post. Okay, now I'll take you on that live tour of our $324 per month apartment. Thought you guys would get a kick out of it. This is our apartment we're in. That's $336 per month. That's our front yard, the jungle there. These are the steps down into it, and this is the wall alongside, and here's our front door. And that little table here and chairs. It's kind of dark in here, but you'll get the picture. It's late afternoon here in Bali, Indonesia. Bunch of windows out onto the front yard. Hey Chung. Yeah. There's like a bed in the living area here, and then there's another master's in here. And then it has like a indoor-outdoor bathroom, which is common in Bali. This is the bathroom here. It has like a rock wall here and floor. And it's indoor-outdoor, meaning this is like just a window without glass in it. And here's a sink, windows on both sides without glass in it. And then this is the kitchen. It has a little fridge and sink, gas oven, water. And there's no wall on this side of the kitchen. Just some screens up to block the sun. And you hear the river down there? There's a river down there. I don't know if you can see it. It's running through here. And it's in 𝗂𝗵𝗲. It's like up in the mountains. So even though Bali itself Bali meaning the beaches can be quite warm. This is like a tropical rainforest area. I don't remember the elevation, but it's cooler here. So, and the beach is like 40 to 60 minutes away, depending on which one you feel like going to. But it's so beautiful up here. It's 𝗂𝗵𝗲 in Indonesian means like healing, so it's considered like a healing part of the world. 𝗂𝗵𝗲 is. Anyway, thought you guys would get a kick out of how little rent we're paying. As I mentioned, 𝗂𝗵𝗲 Bali is my favorite place in Southeast Asia to retire cheap in paradise. But if you are curious what locations in Southeast Asia came in second, third, fourth, all the way up to 10th place, then click the video that appears in the upper right-hand corner of your screen right now. Hey, if you liked our video, please like, comment, or subscribe. Any of that would help our business. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much.
Click the link in the notes below this video to get a copy of this content. Plus, grab a free copy of my ebook, How I Fired My Boss and Traveled the World for 13 Years. While you're there, check out our catalog of retired cheap reports all over the world and our hobby income course that we just released. Thanks so much.